What's up, YouTube? Hudson Fan 15 back with not just another mail day. As the title implies, changes are going on with me. My wife and I, since Valentine's Day, have been trying to buy a house, and it looks like it's getting serious now, finally, with one. And I'm going to be using JPK 19 James as my insurance agent, believe it or not. And lately the hobby has not been that same degree of fulfilling and kind of zen stress release as it has for me in the past. There have been a lot of different things, and after I show the mail, I'm going to get to the most recent and the most troubling one. But let's get through this stuff first. Got a couple CDs through Amazon because because I ended up getting gift cards for completing surveys. I think the new Soil album, Hole, with Ryan McCombs back in the fray. He actually has a song where it's almost like a rock version of a battle rap where he's using lyrics from other songs. It's a reminder to do something. It's alright. Nothing, to me, not like, Scars, but then again, nothing else will be, but it's a hell of a lot better than what it sounded like when the other guy was the lead singer. And then the album that I've been playing the absolute crap out of, Devil Driver, Winter Kills. They're going to be coming through this area 2 days after a concert that I've already got tickets to. So, considering I already saw them once this year, I don't imagine a lot will be different other than they may play some of the stuff off this. 2 singles already out pretty good. They do a cover of AWOL Nation's Sail, for those of you who are familiar with that. I was not previously, and to me they do an okay job. And there's a song, Curses and Epitaphs, that I was very fond of. So, that's the new Devil Driver and brief music review. I don't know why, I just decided that I wanted to upgrade this card to an on-card and a little bit more limited, well, barely more limited. So I decided, I picked up this 2012 Knockout Full Contact Uriah Faber Silver Ink. I like the look of that set, and he's looking like a bit of a diva there, but that's okay. So I had this in my collection, this Sports Legends Auto out of 100. And at some point in the near future, I'm going to put up a lot of basically everything I have MMA, other than the 3 individual cards that I already have for sale, which is a Brian Bowles red to 8, a Frank Mir red to 8. I'm sorry, I have 4 cards for sale. A Randy Couture Century insert to 50, which I can't find completed sales on anywhere. But there was one that was numbered at 25 that went for like almost $30, and then a Forrest Griffin round 2, and then this Uriah is probably going to be the centerpiece of that lot. So replacing it in the collection with this. Chris Lieben, Mem Auto at a 188 from 2010 Knockout. For the Cerrone PC, Bloodlines. Insert sticker auto. It doesn't say that it's a refractor. I think that's just how the set looks. And then I got my first 2 graded MMA cards. A Bob Sapp BGS 8.5 10 auto grade. The surface killed it as an 8. It's a sticker auto. Robert M. Sapp Jr. the Beast. It's the inscription on it. And that was just, to me, kind of a throw-in, and I paid like less than $7 for these 2 cards, which is amazing to me. This one was primarily what I was going for, the 2010 Leaf MMA Champions Parallel to 199 BGS 9.5. Auto only got a 9, I think, because he went off sticker. But Clay the Carpenter Guida. I actually, in the knockout pool on Combat Cardboard, Survivor pool, I think they call it, I actually picked him to lose, which was very hard, but I mean, Chad Mendes was just so obviously the better fighter that it would have been dumb not to. And finally, I got this one from Canada, 2012 Finest Red 1/1 Refractor. They're bringing in the super fractors, so the red 1-of-1s are going away. So this will be, it looks like his last red 1-of-1 refractor of Cowboy Donald Cerrone. I'm really kind of miffed at him for losing the way he lost to Dos Anjos, where it didn't look like he had a very good motor. I mean, that's the only way I can put it. Like a football player, just no drive to get anything done in that fight, and it was really irritating because I'm just standing there. I'm just like an old lady behind an old lady in traffic, just like go. Why don't you go? So that was a bit frustrating sitting here on Fight Night talking to myself. Oh, I did already get a team bag for that. Good. And moving on from the MMA to a couple of Huddy pickups. The 2013 Topps Tier 1 on-card Crowd Pleaser Auto to 99. I missed the gold ink. That went for like 150. Another one of these test superfractors, and this one's actually smaller than the standard card, so it's pretty obvious that this wasn't intended for issue sort of thing. Unlike the previous one that I'd received, this 2010, it says that it's a refractor, but it doesn't say that it's a super. Like the other one, the test run said that it was a super, so I don't know what to make of this, but I just think these things are just so nice looking, with the spirals and the kind of goldish hue to it, that I decided to pick it up. And finally, 2013 Topps Allen and Ginter. I got the hidden box Topper 101, and I know I missed one plate already, and I don't know that there are any more full-size 1-of-1 parallels other than the Vault blank back and the COA. And finally, the mini online exclusive. This came up on a Buy It Now, and I just happened to check my phone when this had only been up for like less than 2 hours, and I'm surprised it lasted that long. The Platinum 1-of-1 of card 448, so the Series 2 checklist of Hudson commemorating the 200 wins. So there's a parallel to 5, and I don't think I'm going to end up getting any of those. Obviously not, because I'm stopping now. So using that stack of Topps as a segue. The saga continues on this whole redemption issue. I ended up going onto one of the forums and finding Vincent Carballaro. You guys know who he is. Vincent at Topps. His contact information. After I'd sent him an email and he hadn't responded to me for a couple of days, and I decided I'm just going to call him out. And I said, "Is this your number?" And because it was posted on Blowout, and he immediately responded, "Oh yes, when do you want to talk?" And I decided to do this after we had this conversation, this series of email conversations where I basically explained my philosophy about how customers should be treated, and specifically when it comes to redemption cards. As soon as you put a redemption card in a box, you are responsible for fulfilling it. You are also imposing on your customer right away. Okay? You are saying, we're going to waste some of your time getting this card done because we couldn't get it done on our end. Okay? I think they should do away with redemptions in a certain fashion. There are going to be redemptions all along, but they also withhold product. I don't know if you guys know this. They withhold a certain amount of product from distribution specifically to handle damaged cards and redemptions that they cannot fulfill. And part of what they decided to do, so they don't have to withhold as much product, is to do this garbage sticker dump project that you saw that I got the Padre Snyder from, which is still sitting in the original mailer, and I'm going to let it sit there. So I told him, I don't see this issue as resolved, and this needs to get fixed, because as far as I'm concerned, I attempted to send the card back to you. You wouldn't take it. That's not my problem. You've got to make this redemption issue right and get me something to where I can say, yes, this is resolved. So he said he was kind of vaguely worded about it, but I detected this undertone of kind of being flippant about the whole thing. And he says that he's going, all of a sudden he sends me this message saying, I'm having something sent to you. Now this was after I'd already expressed that I didn't like the fact that this redemption replacement, this uncirculated thing, was forced out. I was not asked first, and that if I had been, perhaps there might have been something else from their catalog of uncirculated that I would have taken instead, but because I wasn't given the opportunity, I'm not even entertaining the idea. So I'm thinking that based on the things that I told him that I would accept, that he had found something, and instead I get this, which is a 2013 Tribute on-card auto numbered to 99, which I already have, and the last one of which sold for $8.50. I don't know if he was trying to placate me. I don't know if he thought by sending a second item that I would somehow go, oh, well, now I got 2 cards instead of 1, and ignore the fact that there's an enormous value discrepancy between the two. So I decided I'm going to call him. So we have had a total of 3 phone calls, and the last of which was yesterday. And we are at an impasse. Because he is limited in what he can do in his position, because despite the fact that from the moment I talked to the first schmuck that picked up the phone, who didn't even sound like he was knowledgeable as to what sports cards were, and he was just a guy who had a job at a call center somewhere, I asked for a supervisor, and on call number 2, I specifically asked Vincent, are you a supervisor? And he said no. And I said, well then why, when I asked for a supervisor, did this guy Eric give me to you? Oh, well, he just thought I could help you better. That's not what I asked for. And I knew that I would end up wasting my time if I didn't get a supervisor, and I'd been operating to this point thinking the fact that I was talking to a supervisor. So the latest offer was a card that maybe potentially could have been sold for the value of one of the 2 pending redemptions that I had, but there was a possibility that it couldn't, and then it definitely wouldn't based on the low sell price of one of them that we found, if they also took 15% off or 13% off between PayPal and eBay fees. And I told them, ideally I want 1 card, hopefully of Hudson, to handle both redemptions. If I have to settle for 2 different Hudson cards equal to the value of these redemption cards, then I'll deal with 2 different Hudsons, but at least they'll be Hudsons. If not, if I have to settle for a replacement that's not a Hudson, I want something Andrew Luck autographed worth the value of both. If not, I want something Ronda Rousey autographed, low numbered to where it would be the value of both. And if you can't give me any of that, I want a card that is enough over the value of both combined that I can sell it for, and after fees end up with what I paid for the 2 redemptions and walk away. I'm not doing this flea market piecemeal bull crap where you end up sending me 3, 4, 5 different cards, and I got to do 3, 4, 5 different transactions with these different people to end up with maybe somewhere close to the money that I spent after having to spend more than $4 per card shipping because of the way I have to ship it to protect myself on eBay. I'm not going through that. So now I'm talking to I'm expecting a message from this guy, David Linear. Linear. That's his name, that's his email. If you got a problem with Topps, go to him, because at least he's got a manager or supervisor name under his belt. Okay? I understand some people have had success with Vincent. I imagine that because they're just willing to, maybe be less discerning about what they get than I am. I don't think I'm being unreasonable when the back of their redemption card very clearly states that an adequate, an equal to or higher than value card will be submitted. Okay? There's no way to know what the true value of these cards are because you're not producing them. So the only thing we can go by is a completed eBay sale, which I looked and I still have the PayPal receipts for, so I can provide that. Okay? Book value means nothing. Okay? Beckett could publish that a common card's worth $100. If you can't get somebody to give you $100 for it, it means nothing. The only way you can gauge it is by looking at the fair market. Okay? And the card that they offered me doesn't even come close. Not even close to the value of these 2 pending redemptions that I have. And the only reason I'm dealing in terms of 2 is because I bought 2, I submitted 2, and now they said we're not going to produce either one of them. Okay? If this gets resolved, I will come back and let you guys know how. I'm obviously, there have been developments in between, but I was working with Vincent, and I didn't want to put out anything publicly that maybe might cause any sort of issues if somebody, if one party or the other took something the wrong way. But at this point, I don't believe that I'm going to get anything adequate from them. It has taken time out of my days. It has created stress on days where I didn't need it. There have been times where I've been promised phone calls that I haven't gotten it. There have been very simple directions that were not followed. That, I mean, just something as simple as before you send something out, like an $8.50 autograph to try to appease an $84 redemption card, that if you just said what you were sending before you sent it, you wouldn't have had to waste the postage, and I wouldn't still be ticked off. Okay? And I'm not counting either of what they sent to me as anything towards the value of this redemption card. And again, because the fact that they won't take these cards back, not my problem. I want to send the cards back. I can't understand why they won't take them. They're still in the original, condition that I got them in. They can use them to try to appease or dupe somebody else. But I'm going to leave you guys for a little while when I go on this hiatus to sort of try to find some way to get my zen back about all this, get my finances in order, get in this new house with my wife, if everything continues to go well, and I know that might be a while, with the following. If you're going to buy a Topps product, be aware that there is a strong possibility that not only will you get a redemption, but they will not honor it the way it states on the card. That they put those cards in there, and then because they have monopolies on certain sports that they manufacture, they don't care about you as a customer. Okay? They don't. They take the wrong approach when it comes to handling redemptions. As I said before, redemptions are just a blight on the community. They are a blight on the hobby as a whole. Okay? They need to understand that they are imposing on us. We are their customers. They need us more than we need them. And there are other companies that make trading cards that we can go to. And this isn't an ad for Panini or anything like that, although it could be with football, for example. But if you open a product, or even if you do what I did and buy redemptions on the secondary market, don't expect to get the card you asked, you submitted the code for, that you are now entitled to. And by the way, this request verbiage is ridiculous. And the analogy that I used to him was, if you put in an order for a computer, and you get that computer in the mail, and you go to hook it up, and it powers on, but the disk drive doesn't work. So you can't do certain things with it, and there's a piece in it, and where that disk drive is supposed to be, there's a little note that says, sorry, we owe you one disk drive. You're imposed upon right away. You can't install certain programs like that. You can't play media like that. You can't write discs like that. And then you get a letter in the mail from the manufacturer of that computer, a package in the mail, attach that letter. that's got another hard drive on it and says, sorry, we can't get you a disk drive, but we can get you another hard drive. That doesn't do me any good. I still can't do what I wanted to do with it. It's still not the piece that I wanted. It's not the piece that I paid for. They have to understand that there's a secondary market. They have to understand that there are people who collect specific things. And they have to understand that if they're going to impose on those people like that by doing redemption cards, that they're going to have to... They produce the cards. And I'm not looking for something insane. This isn't a Chad Caldwell, Thundering 24, Griffey 1 of 1, you got to replace it kind of level thing. I'm talking... Send me a card that sells for $200. You gotta have that laying around the office. Send me an RG3, lower numbered auto that I can sell for $200. Walk away clean and at least feel like I haven't been duped. But the fact that this has taken 2 months now, over 2 months, and we are no closer to resolving it than when I first happened to check my redemption status. Which is another thing. Their website's terrible. That it doesn't send you an email when something's shipped. It doesn't give you a tracking number so you can find out where it is. And it doesn't give you anything about whether or not it's the actual card that you asked for or if it's one of these garbage replacements. These are all things that need to be fixed. So before I made the first phone call, I was already angry at all that. But if you're going to produce a product, take ownership of the entirety of the product. Vincent said to me 2 different occasions, we're not in the business of making redemption cards. We're not in the business of selling redemption cards. Are you kidding me? So that wasn't you, Topps, you as a representative of Topps, that wasn't your company that manufactured these little cards and put them in boxes of your product that were then sealed in your factories and sent out. That wasn't you. You got redemption card gnomes running rampant around your factories. It absolutely was. It's part of what you produce. Take ownership of it. And learn some customer service skills. I've had it. The fact that I'm this angry right now after cooling off for a full day. You can imagine what I was like yesterday. And this is why I need to take a break. I'm still going to get this issue resolved. I've still got stuff up on eBay, so there'll be little forays into cards or whatever. But for right now, I'm done. I'll stay in touch with people that I have their phone numbers. If you like me, you like my videos, you like what I have to say, you want to talk with me or whatever else, shoot me a PM, we'll swap phone numbers, talk about sports-related stuff and whatever else comes up. If you're somewhere and you see a Hudson, and you've got the money, and you don't mind sitting on it for a little while, pick it up. Worst case scenario, it takes me a while to get back to this. I'm not selling off my collection. There may be some things like with the Colts, with players that are gone now, whatever else, that you may see me put up some lots or whatever. Unless life happens and I absolutely need the money, I don't intend on selling a lot of my collections. Because it's stuff that I really do care about and I want. And I'm not going to be one of those people that closes their channel and disappears. There'll be days where I'll want to start up the computer in the morning and check in on some people. There will be afternoons where I have an hour to kill before the wife comes home that you may see me comment on a video here and there. But as far as being active and as far as spending money on this hobby anymore, I just can't right now. I want to thank everybody who supports this channel and my videos. And most importantly, I want to thank the people that I'm truly friends with. You know who you are. A couple of you I discussed this with before I made this video. Alright, YouTube. Peace.